Ambassador Daniel Carmon, who was the former Israeli ambassador to India, on the telecast with me. Let's hear it from him about his opinion over the seven-front war that is taking place between Israel and Iran and its proxies currently. Thank you very much, Ambassador, for joining me on the telecast. And my first question to you about the seven-front war that Israel is fighting against Iran and its proxies. What is the end goal going to be? How is this war going to end?
How many fronts? For the last year, since the terrible Black Saturday of 7th of October 23, Israel has been confronting seven, not one, not two, seven different fronts that have attacked Israel, either Iran directly or Iran through proxies. And when I say proxies, I mean Hezbollah in the north, Hamas in the south, from Iraq, from Syria, from the West Bank, from the Houthis in Yemen, and Iran itself. Seven different fronts that we have to confront. Most of them proxies of Iran. What we have seen in the last few weeks, because of the weakening of Hamas has switched from being an army to being a bunch of gangs, not an army anymore as they used to be, weakened totally. Hezbollah also has been weakened from in a different way, maybe a little less than Hamas. But Iran has been exposed. It cannot hide anymore behind the proxies, which is a policy that they've used for years now. And when we talk about Hezbollah, terrorist organization, and never forget, please, that Hezbollah is a terrorist organization despite the way they want to portray themselves. Hezbollah has been attacking assets from around the world for more than 30 years. I remember in the 1980s, Hezbollah in Beirut has massacred dozens of French Marines and hundreds of American Marines. It started back then, and then so many unfortunate terrorist attacks by Hezbollah, mostly as a proxy of Iran.
Okay, in terms of how Israel is countering these strikes, the ballistic missiles that have been fired from Iran, for the second time, this has been a direct attack on Israel by Iran. Of course, we talk about the on-ground operations. There has been a full-front offensive where you have been able to take control of a large percentage of Lebanese territory. You have again struck Hezbollah bases in the vicinity of Beirut near the airport. How do you plan to take forward this fight? Again, the question arises and speculations rife that this war is not going to end for a long time now.
What do you mean, why? I mean, that's, I don't understand the question. When you're attacked all over your territory, when you have to put your citizens, all the citizens of Israel were in bomb shelters, in safe rooms for hours. We're all the time on alert because we have those seven fronts that in any minute, I'm now in the safe room. I'm not in the park. I'm sitting in the safe room speaking to you in a place that when something happens, I can bring here myself, my family. We close the door. It's a 45 safe room, like all houses in Israel have as part of the building procedure. We have every apartment, every house has a safe room because we are under danger. Now, when we are attacked, what should we do? Stay and wait for the next attack? Or should we attack back? What would happen if Visant Via would be attacked or Chanikapuri or any other area of any city in India would be attacked by ballistic missiles? Would India sit idle and wait for the next attack? No, ma'am. We have all the right, and the international humanitarian law permits it, to defend ourselves through using all the means that we have to do.
Ambassador Carmon, when we talk about the potential of the Israeli forces to then strike nuclear facilities, oil facilities in Iran, in a counter to the attacks that Israel has witnessed in the last 48 to 72 hours from Iran, there has been an appeal made by the United States to not target these facilities. How do you move forward in terms of whether it is going to be a calibrated action, or is it then you declaring an all-out full frontal war?
Israel's worries are to continue being attacked by extremist gangs, some of them being proxies, or all of them being proxies of a state, a member state of the United Nations. By the way, member of the Disarmament Committee, can you believe it? Iran, a member of the Disarmament Committee. A state that has been denying the Holocaust, an historical fact that happened to the Jewish people, denying the Holocaust and doing everything to have another Holocaust. A state developing nuclear capability, military nuclear capability, with the international community doing some things in order to prevent it. Stabilizing force. Iran is a stabilizing force in the Middle East, in West Asia. So as long as the international community understands and acts not to permit Iran to do whatever it wants, then we'll join. We will join. It's not an Israeli issue, although Israel is at the forefront of the tip of the iceberg of the Iranian attack. It's Europe that could be next. Europe could be next. And remember, Iran is also supplying Russia with the capabilities to attack Ukraine. Can you believe that this goes as far as that? So what I would suggest, what I would see, hopefully a formation of an axis of peace, an axis of moderation, to confront the extremist Ayatollah-based regime in Iran, which is the leader of the axis of evil. And unfortunately, one way or the other, the axis of evil gets the support of Russia, of China, of Turkey, and of international terrorist organizations that are backed, financed, trained, and whatever by the regime in Iran.
What role would Israel like India to play in re-establishing peace in the Middle East?
Well, India has been a very good friend and strategic partner of Israel. We know that India has many interests around the region, around the world. We know India's pacifist policy. We appreciate it. We appreciate very much our relations. I don't know what you mean by role, but I don't see at this stage any role for anyone to try to mediate. We are in the first stages of a war. I don't know how to define it. If it's a war between two sides, will it change to be a regional war, or maybe worse? I hope not. Of course not. What I would expect of India, and I think India knows it very well, India doesn't need me for that, but expect to analyze the situation and to see the formation of this moderate axis of moderation and peace. Maybe it won't happen today, maybe it won't happen tomorrow, but I think it's something that the world should have, because when you have an axis of evil with so many bad, ill intentions, someone has to stop it. And my feeling is, I mean, I know India very well, and I appreciate very much, and I follow on a daily basis the way India develops itself, in the way India becomes more connected with the Western countries. I have no doubts in my mind that India will join the axis of moderation, because India is a moderate country.
Right, absolutely. Now, if we look back, the 12 months that have passed since the 7th October attacks that took place in 2023, this was right at the time Israel was at the brink of normalizing its ties with the other friendly Arab countries as per the Abraham Accords. Who, according to you, has benefited from this war? Do you think there has been a concerted effort to stop Israel from building friendly relations within the Middle Eastern region?
I think no one benefits from any war. At the end of the day, we should never have any war anywhere. But when there are forces of evil, we should not permit them to thrive, to develop, and to do evil. So sometimes, yes, sometimes we have to call a spade and to react to evil deeds and to violence and to terrorism. And who would be better understanding what terrorism is than the people of India? And when terror is inflicted on India, India reacts. And this is what we are also doing. And when we talk about anti-terrorism, India and Israel have not only the same value, we have the same activity, that we are acting against terrorism.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.